Hey, it's Enigma HUD. Back in April of 2001, Joe Siegler, who's a fat guy who used to work at the video game company 3D Realms, did an interview with this radio guy. I don't know if he was an internet radio guy or real radio guy or whatever. He's just some nobody. I think his name is Dr. Dementia or some shit. I don't know. I never heard of the guy before. He did this interview with this guy, and I remember hearing about it back in the day and thinking it was stupid, and then I actually came across it recently, so I thought I might listen to it again and, just give my feedback on this fucking thing, make comments and remarks and shit like that. So let's listen to the video, shall we?
We'll talk more about 3D Realms itself, and maybe we get Joe to tell us something about Duke Nukem Forever, their brand new game they're working on, which should be out this year. Come on. That's right.
Out this year. This was 2001, by the way. And people actually thought it was going to come out that year. And little did they know it wouldn't come out for another 10 years.
Joey Jojo Jr. Shabado.
That's the worst name I ever heard.
As he's affectionately known as, a.k.a. Joe Siegler from the mighty 3D Realms. How you doing, dude?
Okay.
Lord.
Yeah, that too.
I haven't talked to you in a long time.
I haven't talked to you since your old show.
Right, the old Daily Dementia.
Well, you could say it's still that. It's just not called that.
What is it? Oh, yeah. Well,
you were running it. That
right.
Makes it Dementia.
Exactly. But that's the whole point of it, huh?
Yeah.
You want to have fun, chill like a villain, and, just do it up in style, so to speak.
TC.
This guy has absolutely nothing to say. I still don't understand why the hell they would interview Joe Siegler. What exactly does he have to contribute? I mean, he's a forum mod. He's a webmaster. And that's putting it very loosely. He has absolutely nothing to say. Awkward interview, right from the get-go. I can understand if he would interview George Broussard or Scott Miller, but Joe Siegler? What the fuck did he do? What the fuck does he do at 3D Realms? This is honestly the best you can get, that you can't get anyone else except for him?
I'm probably the only one that calls you TC.
No, everybody calls me TC.
Yeah. Not what I think TC stands for.
Yeah, but I gave you that one, didn't I?
Oh, no. I was on your old show, I think, 2 times. I don't remember who came up with that, but it was during one of your shows, one of my appearances, that we came up with that.
Right. It was
Total?
What?
No, not testicular cancer.
That's cold, dude. I figured we could just talk about some different topics, including
total crap.
3D Realms, if you like. Plus, I got some.
When it's done.
I'm not going to ask about that because that's pointless, right?
See, that's the other thing. Why on earth are you interviewing him about 3D Realms and Duke Nukem Forever? He has absolutely nothing to say about it. He's not working on the game, and he's not even disposed to talk about it, about anything he might even know about the game. So what the fuck is the point?
I mean, never mind. I'm still a fan of you guys, and I'm looking forward to it, but, I've learned my lesson over the years. The years.
It's interesting how they're making jokes about the years, how long it's taking. I mean, this was 2001. That was 10 years ago.
I don't know. Hey, I got a question for you. I was thinking about this, and it's not really a 3D Duke Nukem Forever question or any kind of question. It's just kind of a vague question. But let's say I was creating a game, and obviously I know you don't actually partake in the programming and such like that.
See, isn't that kind of funny how he's making that subtle joke, I know you don't partake in the actual programming aspect of, making video games, and which is kind of like the whole point, I know you don't actually make graphics or do sound or music. You don't really do anything at 3D Realms, do you? You don't really do anything. You're just a fucking idiot. You're a moron.
But wouldn't it be a good idea? Right now, the fastest computers out there are probably, the Pentium 4, 1.5 gigahertz. And if I was going to have, a 2-year building window to create a game, wouldn't it make sense to actually take the highest, fastest processing power computer and make that my base system? Because in 2 years, obviously, we're going to be a lot faster than we were 2 years ago.
Well, that helps for stuff like, rendering and graphics and whatnot. Programming-wise...
What the hell does this guy know about it? Are you fucking serious? Programmings? You don't know anything about the subject, you idiot.
It's kind of dangerous to target yourself too high, because then the general populace isn't like that.
General populace. Because then the general populace will not be able to use it. The general populace. The general populace. If you make your target too high, then not as many people can play the thing because they don't have what you need. They don't have what is required to play the game if you set your target too high. The general populace is unable to play my game. The general populace is unable.
But, I mean, what I'm talking about, in 2 years, perhaps the Pentium 4 1.5 gigahertz is going to be one of the slower models on the market by that time.
Yeah.
By then, the general populace may, in fact, have Pentium 4 computers, but I doubt it.
Because we're going to probably have AMD 4 gigahertz and Pentium 4 gigahertz machines.
I don't doubt it.
So.
But maybe we should program for that instead.
No. See, that wouldn't be a good idea. Then you just optimize it. So what kind of system do you got in the office there?
Me?
Yeah.
Actually, I just got a new one.
Really?
Yeah.
And?
AMD Athlon 1.2 gigahertz.
Oh, the Athlons are crap. I just love saying that to get a rise out of AMD fans. I know they're wonderful machines.
Well, nowadays it's more or less the same thing. In the old days, you could say Intel was way in front, but now it's almost like who cares?
Right. They're pretty much even. Obviously, the new Pentium 4s have the new instruction sets that the AMDs don't have right now. But
it's really pathetic when this is the most interesting thing to talk about with Joe Siegler. We're talking about his computer and the technical specifications. This is the most interesting thing to talk about with this fat piece of shit. His computer and the technical specifications. Like, are you fucking serious? Then you have nothing else that's more important to talk about except this. We're going to talk about his computer. Why don't you talk about his foot fungus while you're at it?
They'll be adopted sooner than later.
Yeah.
Though obviously, if you get on a Pentium 1.5 gigahertz, your AMD 1.2 gigahertz is probably as fast with software that isn't optimized for the new chipsets.
Correct. And all of my non-3D Realms related Black Sabbath, what am I saying? My non-3D Realms related websites were with Brad too. And
oh, really?
Yeah, those got affected.
Ouch.
My Black Sabbath site, which also has had an overhaul recently.
So you got to pay now to have those hosted yourself, or what's the deal there?
Well, they're on a service, which is pay, but I got someone to cover the fee.
Right.
So I'm not paying anything.
Why are they talking about Black Sabbath? Nobody cares about Black Sabbath. Nobody cares about what Joe Siegler's interests in music are. No one gives a damn. We want to talk about Duke Nukem Forever and 3D Realms. That's the only reason why this guy is even vaguely interesting. And he's not interesting. He's like the bottom of the barrel in terms of interesting when it comes to video games and Duke Nukem Forever. I mean, you really are scraping the bottom of the barrel when this is the best that you can come up with. Joe Siegler, the guy who refills the Coke machines at 3D Realms headquarters. That's the best you could do. And you're talking about his computer, Black Sabbath, and he doesn't even pay to maintain his website?
But, I mean, you got a lot of other projects going on, like the Commander Keen for the Game Boy and stuff.
No, we
like
don't.
That.
That's not us.
Well, it's it or Apogee.
We have no. Oh, come on. You know better than that. We have the Game Boy Keen. We have nothing to do with.
You don't? I don't know. I saw something about it at your site.
Well, yeah, it's on our forums too. But the point is, we don't own Keen. That's its baby.
Oh, didn't Apogee publish it though?
Yeah, but they hold intellectual property rights. They determine what happens to it.
Oh, so if they're if they're making Commander Keen for the Game Boy, Activision or somebody can publish it. Right?
That's who's publishing it. Same thing with the Wolf sequel. We distributed that, but we don't have anything to do with that sequel either.
Right, I knew that, but I guess I wasn't smart enough.
It's the same bag.
Smart enough on the Commander Keen thing. That's peachy keen in the end. So anyways, getting back to 3D Portal, what do you... All right, I'll move on. But
Is there a direct question you're trying to ask me about 3D Portal?
No,
since you've now let's get back to it 4 times.
I'm just giving you crap. I don't know.
Like that. Never mind. I won't go there.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good choice. Good choice.
Do you even know what I was going to talk about?
I don't know, but.
Oh, this is the worst interview in the history of worst interviews. They have nothing to talk about. You know, I feel bad for that Dementia guy. I mean, he's at least trying to get things kind of interesting, but when you're talking to such a boring fool, there's only so much you can do. It's like, well, so Joe, you have a new baseball card collection or something? Well, what else should we talk about? Did you go get the mail today? Joe, come on, help me out here. I mean, we're losing ratings, man. Come on.
That's not really relevant right now. All right, let's move on to another topic. I wanted to get your take on this whole Napster thing, because I know you're kind of a big fan of Napster, right?
Actually, I would, but our firewall up here at work prevents us from using Napster and Nutella and all those things. I mean, we have to protect ourselves, and because of that, things like Napster we can't use up here, and since I only have a 56K modem at home, it's not worth it.
56K modem. Napster. And like it's just kind of like all coming back, like all these memories from like 10 years ago. I mean, Napster, 56K modem. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, but you have.
Oh, I've used it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, so are you disappointed to see it? The music industry basically putting the kibosh on it.
It's not going to affect anything ultimately.
Right.
I mean, there's so many other substitutes out there now.
All right, I'm done. I'm honestly done with this. I actually was hoping that there might be something vaguely interesting about this interview, and quite evidently there is absolutely nothing interesting about this interview. They are talking about antiquated shit that was relevant 10 years ago, I guess, and they don't even talk about 3D realms. I think maybe at some point they may mention it briefly, but yeah, I'm not going to sit through this anymore, and I'm not going to make anybody else sit through this. This is just torture. Listening to what Joe Siegler thinks about Napster and MP3s and Metallica and his opinions, and like, who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? I mean, he was supposed to be notable because he works at 3D Realms, who's working on Duke Nukem Forever, and they're talking about pointless shit. I apologize, guys. I really thought that there might have been something in this interview. Well, in conclusion, Joe Siegler is clearly as worthless as we all suspected him to be. I mean, even when you interview him about random, pointless shit, he is still 100% boring and useless and worthless. So why on earth would Gearbox, in their infinite wisdom, give this guy a job? He's talking about Napster and Metallica. That's the most interesting thing he has to contribute to this radio show. This is Enigma Hood signing off.